up, guys? Mic check. Everybody hear me okay? I'm gonna quick check my Chrome, see if you guys can see my web browser here. Just a sec. Alright, can you guys see that? I'm looking at my own stream here. I'm gonna see if my web browser showed up. This Streamlabs software has been giving me big time problems. And it didn't show up, of course. Of course it didn't show up. What's up, guys? Welcome, everybody. So, Chrome window, Google Chrome, source. Windows 10. You guys see that? Did you guys see that? No? Sorry, give me a sec, guys. I'm working this out. This will be just a couple minutes. I'm doing this live, testing live. There we go. Alright, I think we're good now. Alright, so yeah, for those of you that don't know, I was in the news. So, yeah, I was in the news. So this is New York Post. Sorry. Let me get this sorted out here. Yeah, I was in the New York Post. I did an article with this media agency, and they got me on a bunch of websites, so it's pretty cool. So check out these articles. They got me in there eating some raw meats. Went worldwide. If you just type my name in, I'm just all over every single website. Republic World, Daily Mail, Daily Star, New York Post. So it's pretty cool. Check those articles out. Hopefully you guys saw that. Yeah, I think you guys saw that. Cool. Yeah, check that stuff out. What's up, JP? What's up, Ghosts? Jolene? Joaquin, how you doing, man? What's up, Sky? Been good, dude. Life's been good. I've been focusing on Instagram quite a bit, but I'm going to come back to YouTube. Got some raw oysters, chicken liver, and raw butter today. I'm starving too. It's my first meal. Fresh, man. I just picked these up. It's wintertime, so it's time to get some vitamin D foods in. You know what I mean? What's up, Weston Price? Good to see you. It has been a long time. Yep. Yeah, this is for my Euro homies out there. I knew you guys would appreciate this early stream, so I figured I'd do a lunchtime stream. I got the day off today, so what a better time than to do some streaming. Oysters, man. These are crucial for me in the wintertime. Getting all this vitamin D and the sun's not out. Yeah, sorry about the chat box. There's no chat box and there's no viewer count on my screen anymore because this software is a big pile of crap. So It's not letting me adjust the settings on it. It's not letting me log in. It's weird. So, who cares? You just got to catch it live if you want to see the chat. Well, I guess when you rewatch the video, it replays the chat too. So, that's, it says, Rod Munder says, that's crazy. Did they interview you? Yeah, they found me through my Instagram, and I did an interview with them. And they're paying me actually 50% royalties, man. So I should be getting some money for those stories here pretty soon. Caleb says, what, you can get fresh seafood in a landlocked state? Yeah, there's a wholesale seafood distributor in downtown where I live. And I can get fresh oysters and every once in a while, fresh fish. I mean, they've been refrigerated, but they're not frozen. These are so good, man. Annabeth says, no work today? No, I got Mondays off. I work 4 days a week. I got a dream schedule. 4 long days, 3 days off. I bet I could eat 50 oysters. 8's not enough. 10's not enough. What's up, Andreas? That's been a long time. Glad to see you guys all came back to hang out. I'll try to do a stream at least once a week. This winter I might do more. It just kind of depends. I mean, in the wintertime I tend to stream more just because it's cold and snowy and stuff outside. Got some chicken liver, which looks like a chicken heart attached to it. What's up, TC? Caleb says, have you tried swordfish? 141% daily value vitamin D per serving. I'm eating it every day for 2 months. Wow. Yeah, man, I've been eating a lot of swordfish. I eat boxes and boxes of swordfish, dude. I just picked up 10 pounds with my oysters. It's one of my favorite fish now. Matthias Ebner, do you eat your raw cheese with salt? No, I usually get unsalted, but every once in a while from Miller's, I'll get their pepper jack cheese, which has salt in it. I love their pepper jack, man. So I'll eat a little bit of salt with that cheese. But like 90% of my cheese is unsalted. Weston Price says, on this 3 years, have you ever gotten the side effects Augenus said you get while eating frozen meat? I feel frozen is not that bad. I have not. I haven't noticed anything. The only thing I do get sometimes is dandruff. And I don't know what causes that. It's weird. I'm on this like super clean, perfect diet, and I definitely get dandruff. So that could be from the frozen meat. I'm not 100% sure because that's like a skin issue. But other than that, really, no, not really anything. And one interesting thing that he recommended, or that he said, is that all of the bad effects that the dogs experienced on the frozen foods was reversed with raw butter. So I'm guessing all the raw butter I'm eating is probably negating any negative effects from the frozen food. That's my guess. But to my knowledge, I'm not noticing anything that's very obvious. But like I said, I do have dandruff, which is really strange, and I don't know where it comes from. But I've kind of had that my whole life, so off and on. Oh, I bet swordfish belly is good, dude. Tuna belly is one of the tastiest foods I've ever eaten. So I bet swordfish is good. Doesn't swordfish contain a lot of mercury? It does, but if you eat it raw, it leaves your body. It goes through your body and leaves it. But if you cook the swordfish and you cook the mercury, it'll store in your body. So you just gotta eat it raw. Chicken hearts and livers, man. Fresh, local pasture chicken. Farmed an hour away. Fresh. Just picked it up a couple days ago. Vasil Samartinian says, what do you think about eating every 5 hours according with autogenous 100 planets? If you're sick, trying to heal your body, trying to detox, it's probably a good idea. But, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's at a different level of sickness and degeneration. And he had like specific protocols for specific people and conditions and stuff. So I don't think there's anything wrong with intermittent fasting as long as you're in like good health to begin with. But if you have some sort of disease or like you're trying to address some certain condition, you might want to eat all the time, especially if you want to put on weight. If you're underweight, it's probably a good idea to keep eating a lot. Well, it just depends. Joaquim says, dandruff, I'm having that too, happens every change of season. Is that what it is? Yeah, maybe that's it. Because it just all of a sudden came out of nowhere, dude. It was like just massive flakes. I don't use anything on my hair, Jolene. That's what's weird. I use absolutely nothing besides water, unless it's something in my water, which could be definitely could be true because I don't use very strong filters. Chicken liver, man. I like this better than beef liver. It's a little different taste. This is live. This is live. Raj Rogerson says, are you still a Gnostic? I find Gnosticism very interesting. Very, very interesting, man. But I try not to label myself as anything nowadays because I just don't know. I'm still on my journey figuring stuff out, you know. I think almost every religion has a lot of truth to it. So it's very hard to just pick one and say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, you know. But Gnosticism is fascinating because it was like hidden, you know. So anything they're trying to hide from it, you know, there must be some truth to that. Juicing? No, I don't juice vegetables. I juice fruits sometimes, but I never really found the desire to juice vegetables. It doesn't, for me at least, it doesn't seem like a natural part of the diet. I'm just a Northern European, Scandinavian barbarian, dude. Like, just give me meat, organs, and butter and eggs, and I'm good to go. I don't need anything else. I don't even really need fruit, but I eat it because it's tasty. Like the subhuman pre-Adamite, I know that I know nothing. Yeah, exactly, man. It's like the more I get into God and spirituality and religion and all this stuff, it's like, dude, we're I think we're so far off from what the original religions were meant to express. The original rituals and stuff that went along with it. It's so disconnected now. We're all about reading stuff from books instead of having like a genuine spiritual connection with the creator or God or whatever you want to call it. It's nowadays I barely even like talking about it because I think articulating God or trying to articulate religion or spirituality is almost like it's impossible, you know? Words can't express like something that huge. So, but I'm definitely on the journey figuring stuff out. Gnosticism was pretty eye-opening, but I think life is really simple. That's the key. And the truth is within. For sure. Yeah, I might try some eggs, dude. It's not a bad idea. I only wash my hair with an egg like once a month or something like that. But that might help with the dandruff for sure. Good call. Thoughts of David Dita? I have not heard of David Dita. Truth Project, does fruit improve your brain function? How much fruit do you recommend? It does, yeah. It gives me a little boost, a little dopamine boost, a little bit of clarity. Speeds things up a little bit. I would recommend no more than like 2 fruit per day, if not just 1. But I eat like 1 for lunch, and that's about it. You know, I'm on such like a carb-free diet right now that I can't really handle more than like a fruit per day. How often do I lift? Never. I don't ever lift anymore. I do push-ups though at work because it's more time efficient. So I do sets of 60 push-ups. But I've even taken like a week off of push-ups. I do strength training in like bursts, but I don't do it every day. Meaning that I'll do it for like 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight, and then I'll quit for like a week or 2. But I don't lift that much anymore, dude. I get a pretty good workout at work, man. I lift a lot of steel doors, steel metal frames, and stuff like that. Steve Mack Productions, what's going on? I am back, doing well. Never been better. Life is good. Life keeps getting better every day. Roger Rogerson says, I don't trust Gnosticism because of its association with our leaders. I have no idea, dude. It's all so confusing. All I can say for sure is that I believe in lightness and darkness. And some people are of the light, some people are of the dark. That's pretty much all I've figured out after 3 years of studying religion, 3 years of studying Christianity, 3 years of studying Gnosticism and whatever, you know, just there's light and there's dark. That's all I've figured out so far. It's so fundamental and so basic. I think what's going on is so fundamental and basic. It's unbelievable. But also, I mean, obviously there's morality. I've figured out a lot of things morality-wise. How to live life, proper ways to live, stuff like that. That gets a little more into the details, but when it comes to the big ideas, the big forces, there's light and dark. That's it. Steve Mack, who are you keeping up with lately? Watching much, learning anything different? I've been following a lot of Dr. Tom Cowan. I've been reading a lot of books, man. A lot of different books. Can't remember all the titles right now. I got like 200 books, dude, that I haven't read. That I just keep ordering books. I read some David Icke. I read David Icke's book called The Truth Will Set You Free. That is a freaking mind blower. I read a book called The Franklin Cover-Up. It's about a massive pedophilia cover-up that happened right in my home city that was associated with the government and priests and all that. That was mind blowing. Definitely recommend The Franklin Cover-Up if you want to learn about literally the biggest cover-up of all time. Like, if you're into conspiracies and stuff, the Franklin cover-up is probably right up there with like 9/11 as far as cover-ups go. Huge. And it's crazy that it happened right in my home city. And I know people that were involved in it, and it's insane. Chad Strats, your skin is looking good, man. A raw meat diet is clearly working. Thanks, dude. Yeah, this raw meat diet got my skin pretty clear, dude. I used to have mad acne problems when I was younger. Backed up on the carnivore diet. Yeah, try more raw butter. And stop eating cheese if you're doing cheese. But try eating butter with your meals, man. Try eating more fat with it. That might help move things around. Mark Roloff, I did an olive oil wash first, but now I've switched to eggs. 1 time a week, 1 egg in my hair. Got rid of a lot of white shit falling from my hair all day. Now I have to try it in my beard. Sweet. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I will try going back to washing with eggs again. I'm really lazy about that. I'll wash my hair with an egg like once every 2 months. But maybe I should do it more often. Cool. Weston Price, I've seen some new information about archons on Reddit. It's quite interesting. Would love to hear it. I'm reading this book right now. It's called, and I know all the Christians out there are going to call me a total heretic for reading this, but I'm a very open-minded person, and I found this book. It was recommended in David Icke's book. It's called Bringers of the Dawn, The Teachings of the Pleiadians. That book is extremely mind-blowing. This lady apparently channeled this book from aliens, which is freaking nuts, right? But once you read it, you realize that this book or this information like came from somewhere else, dude. It's extremely like archetypal and universal. It talks about how the whole universe was created and there's light and darkness and creator gods and like all this stuff. But it surprisingly all makes perfect sense. But David Icke recommended it, and if you follow David Icke and then you read this book, Bringers of the Dawn, you'll see how David Icke got a lot of his theories from Bringers of the Dawn, which is basically, it all kind of revolves around the earth was created, and it was created by the family of light was in control at some point, and then they lost control, and then like the gods that were in charge of darkness came and sort of took control over the planet and imprisoned it from receiving information or higher frequencies. So humans were capable of receiving higher frequencies and higher information from the universe and the cosmos a long time ago, thousands of years ago. And then there was like a frequency block put over the planet to where humans stopped receiving these frequencies. And so we became kind of dumbed down, basically, and that's what we are today. But it all correlates with frequencies and vibrations and how everything comes down to that. It's super mind-blowing, and it does kind of correlate in with Gnosticism, too, when they're talking about higher gods and lower gods and stuff like that. So it's a goodie. I'm almost done with it. I'm probably going to finish it today. Roma says, dude, just dive into Orthodox Christianity. I've done a lot of research into Christianity, man. Jesus was definitely, he was an enlightened one for sure. Can't argue with that. Raj Rogerson says, Franklin is horrific. Oh, it's terrible, dude. Franklin cover-up. If you have a strong stomach, you'll be able to read Franklin cover-up. And I figured I could be able to read anything or watch anything and be able to make it through. But I almost had to put that book down, dude. It was so messed up what they were doing to kids. I almost couldn't read it. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I made it through because it gets really good at the end, towards the end. Joaquim says to me, religion is all about polarization, black and white, us versus them. Normally nothing to do with the original text. While people are busy arguing, the priest class gets rich. Exactly, dude. Yeah, exactly. It's all so messed up, dude. Everything is all so messed up. So I'm just trying to pretend I know nothing, and I'm just going with like my instincts and what rings true to me personally, and not what other people tell me, you know? Because basically that's what religion is today, is a bunch of people telling you something about how the world works and how God works. It's like, whatever happened to just connecting like on your own, you know? Truth Project, what would you currently like to achieve in your life? What are your projects? Honestly, man, I don't look beyond the moment. I try to stay in the moment, and I stay in today, and I do what's directly in front of me. Right now, I do not own any land or something like that. Sorry, my stream might be jumping around on you guys. But yeah, I'm looking to get a house or some land. That's what's directly in front of me right now. And then whatever God brings me from there, you know? But I live a very simple life, dude. I work, I save money. I do consultations. I'd like to grow this channel some more. Maybe create a business out of this someday, you know? What's up, Matthias? Yeah, no problem. I figured, yeah, I would catch you guys on the other side of the world. Stack says, gotta be careful with David Icke. That guy's a Freemason, a shill, a puppet, controlled opposition. Maybe. I don't put all my eggs in one basket when it comes to leaders or gurus or anything like that, but he's got a lot of really, really smart, beautiful stuff to say when it comes to the lightness and the darkness and vibrations and all that stuff. He's definitely onto it. Soul Blues, have you gotten into Saturnist symbolism? I haven't, dude. That's something that I've never looked into, but I know kind of what you're talking about a little bit. My buddy at work always keeps telling me to look into that. He's like, look into Saturn, dude. I might have to check it out. But it's just crazy how much stuff is out there. How many weird concepts and ideas and conspiracies, and it's just mind-blowing, dude. This world, it just goes to show this world is like so complicated, and we have no idea how it was created or what's going on. Victor, hey man, just wondering if it's safe to eat raw beef liver after it's been frozen. Yeah. Chris Lucas, can you make a video about these types of books and their authors? Would like to read them myself. Yeah, I can do that. I can make a video about all the books that I recommend and stuff like that. I got some books that are out there that they're, you know, it's definitely not just all about diet. It's about all sorts of stuff in the world. Alex says, churches have sold out. It seems everyone I drive by flies the rainbow. Yeah. They're woke. They became woke, man. Go woke, go broke. Joaquin, start raising your own animals, man. The meat is so good. Yeah. That's definitely on the agenda, but it's just a matter of getting land. Because that's what everybody wants to do right now, is get land, you know, and buy homesteads. It's super ridiculously priced. If you want to get like a nice piece of land away from like the highway and away from like cornfields and shit, I could get a piece of land right now if I wanted to, but it would be like right next to a cornfield where they're like spraying glyphosate twice a year. You know what I mean? So I don't want my house sprayed with glyphosate. So it's really tricky buying land because you don't want to be like right next to fields, and just it's you don't want to be too far out from the city because you're not going to be able to get like a good job, or you might have to quit your job. It's very tricky, man. So I'm not really too worried about that right now. If the opportunity comes up to raise my own animals, then I'll go for it. But for now, I'm perfectly fine with just eating the natural diet and buying it from farmers, you know? Matthias Ebner, what would you prefer if you buy a lot of meat? Probably bison, elk, deer, any kind of wild game. TC, greetings from Germany. What's up? Greetings to the motherland. Matthias, dry aging versus freezing. Freezing for sure. Dry aging gets it too dry. Too dry and crusty. Is it cool to eat regular eggs if you run out of soy for eggs? If you want to. That's up to you. I mean, I don't, because I ran out of my farmer's eggs, and so I buy free range soy free from Natural Grocers. It's probably a good idea to stay soy free though. Truth Project, what kind of animals would you like to raise on your own land? Just beef, man. Beef cattle. Grass-fed beef cattle. Maybe some dairy. This butter is good, man. Cultured butter is so much better than regular butter. Joaquin Texera, David Icke, funny character. I've heard when he talks about lizard people, he's actually talking about psychopaths. That's an interesting analogy on that, but they're actually talking about lizard people, dude. They're actually talking about like an alien species that came in and infiltrated Earth. There's actual like lizards that are pretending to be humans. It's fascinating. Pretty mind-blowing. Here's a good one I haven't read yet. Modern Medical Mistakes by Edward Lambert. If you guys want a total genius to read this guy, Ivan Illich. This one's called Medical Nemesis. But his book, Deschooling Society, is a really good one. Highly recommend Deschooling Society. I find all these books in like bibliographies and stuff of other books that I read. But this is another one on the stack. Coping with Psychiatric and Psychological Testimony, 2nd edition. Yeah, so just a couple I haven't read yet. Adabeth says, do you plan on starting a family? I don't have any plans, but if God wills it, I'm down for it. Can you make cultured butter out of regular butter? I think you have to make it out of sour cream. So once the butter's already made, I don't think you can do it, but you gotta make it, you gotta sour the cream for like 24 hours or something like that. Then you make the butter out of that. Joaquin, 99% of school is political social conditioning. Oh, for sure. For sure. Nobody should go to school. I never thought I would ever say that. Ever. I thought you were a total retard for saying that people shouldn't go to school. Now I know. Now I get it. You got to get to the point to where you're self-educated and you're so broken away from the system that you realize that the system is the one poisoning all the kids. And you shouldn't teach your kids anything either unless they ask you. You know? If they ask you a question, answer it for them, teach them. But other than that, humans are designed to learn the world from their own interaction with it. They don't need someone to teach them. Rod Rogerson says Aura glasses can be bought for cheap. Many people, probably myself included. I don't know, don't have auras. Yeah, interesting. I've never heard of Aura glasses. I'm not sure what that is. Matt F, I made cheese out of a gallon of milk and I can't justify the cost for the amount of yield I got. I can buy a 1 pound block for $10 and make an amount of $7 to get maybe a quarter pound. Oh, dude, I experienced the same thing with cheese and butter. Just buy it from Miller's. Just buy it from the pros, dude. Unless you are making your own milk, you know, and your own cream to make the cheese and butter, then it's worth it. Because then you're just getting it for free, basically. But if you have to buy the cream and the milk, it's not worth it for all the work you have to put into it. Annabeth, local hunter buddies just got a deer and gave me the liver, heart, among muscle meat. It was killed in the suburbs where people spray and treat their lawn. Do you think it's safe to eat? I would probably eat it. But give it a taste, you know? If it tastes like weird, then maybe don't eat it. Give it a little test. George says, would you say to get cuts without the bone if going raw, since the bones is used to give the meat more flavor when cooked? Your thoughts? Yeah, I don't really care if it's got bone in or bone out if I don't cook it. Later, Joaquin. What's up, Sarah? Hi, Wes. Do you think God approves of getting shots? Of course not. It's ridiculous. It's straight up poison. They'll probably take this stream down for that, but we'll see. FYSI, did the food make you more based? Yeah, for sure. You know? Like I've always said, when you get on a natural diet, it cleans out your body and your mind, and you're able to access higher frequencies out there. And the more based you get, if you want to call it based, the more knowledgeable you get about the world and things like that. The more you're able to receive these higher frequencies that are coming through. Because your brain doesn't create thought. Your brain does not make thoughts. Your brain receives thoughts like a radio. So there's frequencies out there in the world that are going on, that are everywhere. And your brain... Relax, dude. Your brain accesses those frequencies, and that's where you get information from. That's why Wi-Fi and internet and 5G is such a massive problem, because it interacts with your frequencies, and it makes it unable for you to think clearly and focus and concentrate. Alexander-Nakarada-The dead frog experiment. This experiment, he aimed to compare the difference in digestibility between a raw frog and a cooked frog. I can't remember the experiment exactly. You'd have to refresh me on that. Chris Lucas, certain things you miss, specific food, entertainment, products. I miss like concerts and stuff because of the whole stupid fake pandemic. I miss like going to see live music. That's about it. I don't miss really any foods. If I missed foods that bad, I would just start eating them again, you know, but not really. I have dreams sometimes about junk food. It's very interesting. Austin Miller, I get raw milk locally in Austin, Texas, after about 5 to 7 days. Smells fine, but tastes acid, not spoiled. Think it's okay to consume? Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah, like Matt said, it never goes bad, but yeah, it does turn after about a week or two for me too. Sarah says I'm on leave without pay soon because of the mandate. Good for you. Stand up for your convictions. Be willing to lose everything, you know? That's one thing I like about Christianity is they talk about that, you know? Be willing to lose all your material possessions in order to stand up for what you believe in. That's what separates the courageous people from the cowards, you know? George, I'm doing this challenge for the month of November, and they're requiring an OMAD, 1 meal a day. Recommendation for doing so on a raw primal diet. You can if you want, but I found that I couldn't eat enough food at one time for 1 meal a day. So you might run into that issue. Because I need about typically 2 pounds of red meat a day and like, I don't know, a big old chunk of butter. Ginormous piece of butter. And it's really hard to get that down in one meal, you know? So, you can try it. I think you could probably do it. It depends on what your existing weight is going into it, too. Because OMAD, you might lose weight if you don't eat enough food. So, just experiment around with it and see what your weight is. And if you start losing too much weight or you get too lean, you're going to want to go back to probably 2 to 3 meals a day. Adabeth, do you ever plan on making videos again like the swimming hole, what you eat in a day, daily living type stuff? That might be interesting. Maybe, but I'm just so busy. Like, you know, I work a full-time job and obviously I have like a social life outside of that. And then I have like my personal time where I don't do anything, where I just relax and read, and it's just I just don't really have a whole lot of time to be doing full production YouTube videos with editing and stuff like that. So maybe, but probably not, to be honest with you. Baron Barrett did a 10-day fast recently and reversed my egg sensitivity. Wow, that's interesting. Bainslayer, I just got raw dairy in Ontario, Canada. I can find you raw farm properly. How did you get raw dairy in Canada? Matthias, are you drinking alcohol sometimes? Yeah, I do every once in a while. If I get invited to like a birthday party or we went to like a comedy club a couple months ago, I had a few beers. But that's about it. I don't really get drunk and I don't drink hard liquor or anything like that. Couple beers. Beers are good, man. I love them. Sarah says, I'm the only employee out of 120 people. Wow. That sounds about right. 1%. Less than 1%. You know? You're blessed, though. You're blessed to know the truth. Don't want to risk that myocarditis. Wow, we got 45 people? 53 people in here? Nice. Nice little show out. Fallout 3 Pro Hunter, what do you notice from eating a raw thyroid? Agenus says the effects can last for months. I don't know, dude. I don't notice. All I can say is that I feel healthy as hell. Like, some days I just feel unbelievably healthy. Like, energy-wise, clarity-wise, mood-wise, it's all on point. Never fluctuates. So I just think that everything I do adds to that in a little bit of a way, you know? So, you know, the thyroid, the adrenal glands, the brains, the eyes, all that stuff just slowly just kind of adds into my health and contributes to it, you know? But it's not like I notice like an extreme energy surge for 6 months after eating adrenal gland or thyroid or anything. It's just very subtle. Do I have food stocked for the winter? Things could get very bad. I got a couple local farmers that'll take care of me. You know, I'm pretty high up on their list, so if something happens, and I only got to feed myself for one thing, so if I buy 100 pounds of meat or something like that, I could realistically live off of that for like 2 to 3 months. Often do I eat cooked meat? Maybe once a month, something like that. What's up, Sebastian? Yeah, you're doing the right thing, Sarah. Any exercise you do currently? Push-ups. Right now, just push-ups. But I work 9 hours a day on my feet, walking around all day. Lifting doors, lifting frames, lifting boxes, things like that when I need to. So I do that 9 hours a day. And then I also some days do about 6 sets of 60 push-ups. So that's about it for exercise for me. What's up, Greg Gladys? Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. Ghost says, just don't eat too much of the gland at first. Raw adrenals intense. Yeah, I learned that the hard way, dude. I've done that a couple times now. One time I actually threw up after eating adrenal gland because it was too intense. And then another time I had like a stomach ache for like 6 hours afterwards. So yeah, definitely don't eat the whole gland. Eat just like a little piece of it. Unknown entity. Liver takes a while, man. Liver takes a few months, maybe 6 months, maybe a year to get used to. But I just swallowed it whole for a long time myself until I got used to chewing it. But it takes a while, for sure. Matthias, my girlfriend took the vax. Do you think we can still have healthy children? I mean, just don't give the kids any shots and they will be way better off. You know, that's all I can say. It's hard to say though, man. We're talking about like an experiment, you know? There's no long-term studies on it, anything like that. So it's hard to say. But our bodies are designed to detox poisons out. Like our bodies are total detox machines. So it'll work a lot better than you think, just naturally, the body cleaning itself out, you know? But yeah, I think you'll be alright. I wouldn't believe all of the. Don't believe everything you read about the shots, you know? Just kind of observe what you can. But just because someone takes it doesn't mean they're doomed. But it can mean that. It can give you serious diseases, but it doesn't mean you're 100% always just doomed for poor health and all your kids are screwed and stuff, you know? But it's definitely a problem. But YouTube started taking down some of my videos for medical misinformation. So got to be careful what we say. But you guys already know the truth anyway. There's no sense in talking about it all the time. Just don't do it. You know what I mean? End of story. Don't take it. Mende says, have you looked up mewing? For sure. Yeah, I mew myself. Proper tongue posture. Very important. Helps breathing. Helps me breathe properly, and I broke my jaw before, so it helps me helps my jaw sit straight. Yeah, that's a good idea, blazing hogs. Would I have children with a woman who had the injection? It's hard to say. I mean, I would have to be in that situation, and I would have to see what kind of person she is. It definitely wouldn't be going to my kids, that's for sure. You know, I think that's the most important thing, is not putting it into babies. But adults, typically most adults can handle certain things very well, you know, because we're stronger, you know. The real problem is when you give this stuff to kids. You know what I mean? Ryan says, people think I'm nuts when I talk about EMFs, man, while they sit there in a trance on their phones. Oh, dude, who cares? I thought people that talked about EMF was nuts too. Now I'm all about it. Now I sleep in a cage with crystals next to my head. And I thought people that were into crystals and EMF and all that stuff were 100% schizophrenic, for sure. And then I looked into it, read books on it, and did some experiments myself, sleeping outside of EMF environments, inside EMF environments, and I noticed a huge difference. And now I'm a believer. So that's how all of this stuff goes. You know, people think you're crazy at first, and then all of a sudden they wake up to it and they're like, sorry, man, I thought you were crazy. Blazin says, well, they've pushed all the mandate deadlines back. Something must not be going to plan. Oh, yeah, they're getting huge pushback, dude. It's getting massively rejected. Ben says, how much minimum muscle eater organs would you need a day to get healthy? Probably minimum, like a pound. A pound would be like bare minimum. Matthias, what are your sleeping and I have all my windows blocked out, so my room is completely pitch black. Sometimes it's almost so black in my room it's freaky. Alex says, dude, I tried those EMF rocks, they're amazing. Whoops, I didn't mean to delete your message, Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. I don't know if I deleted your message or what, but yeah, the EMF rocks are interesting. Problem with me is I don't know what did what, because I started sleeping in like my basement, which is non-EMF, and then I got on a grounding mat, and then I did the crystals at the same time. So it's hard to tell what did what. But I sleep like a freaking rock, dude, every night. Do you follow Christopher James from A Warrior Calls? No, I have not heard of him. Matt, interesting. What is? I would like to experiment with EMF. What is the cheapest way to get started? The cheapest way to experiment with EMF is if you have like a cinder block lined underground basement. Sleep in your basement for like a week, because your basement's going to be naturally very low EMF because it blocks a lot of the signal out. Sleep in your basement for a week and see how good you sleep. Also get a grounding mat, because a grounding mat also mitigates EMF exposure because it grounds you. So sleep on a grounding mat. Those are like $20. Sleep in your basement. You can go from there, and then eventually you can build yourself a Faraday cage. What are the rocks called? They're called Tesla rocks, and it's on emfrocks.com. I don't carry the rocks in my pocket, no, but I usually have my phone on airplane mode when it's in my pocket. What's up, Christian? Ghost says, y'all talking about organite? No, this isn't organite. This is they're actually Tesla crystals. Alex says, tried the grounding mat for a year, but those rocks made a big difference. That's very interesting, man. Yeah, I mean, I bought them because the science just makes sense. That's how crystals work, dude. They resonate with frequencies. Ryan says, no problem, man. Told my wife she's going to come home to a cage over her bed. She doesn't really know what I'm talking about yet. Make sure you put the screen underneath your bed too, Ryan, because it'll come up through the floor. George says, have you heard of Liver King? I have. Yes. He's going viral right now, but he's definitely on steroids. Ryan says, what is a good grounding mat? I use the one on Amazon. It's called the grounding half sheet. So it's about 4 feet long and like maybe 2 feet wide. Grounding half sheet. Yeah, mold. It's interesting you say that. San Francisco raw feeders. Mold actually interacts with EMF. So it's very interesting. People that are sensitive to EMF usually are also sensitive to mold, and it all interacts together. Like the EMF actually, like, can't remember what my buddy told me. The EMF like makes the mold more potent somehow because the mold is reacting to the EMF, trying to attack it or something. So the mold actually mutates into a stronger mold and spores, and it's such a mess, dude. But I use a dehumidifier in my basement for mold. Wouldn't the crystals amplify the EMF? No, it doesn't. You'll have to check out Dr. Tom Cowan's podcast. One of his first guests was the guy that owns the crystal company, and he talks about it, how it works. It doesn't amplify the EMF. It actually, like, supposedly grounds out the area around you. It, like, basically grounds it out. Matthias says, hey man, can you answer the question again? Sleep tips, how many hours of sleep? There was an interruption. Yeah, so I sleep 8 hours a night. I sleep in a Faraday cage. I sleep on a grounding mat. I sleep on the floor on top of 2 foam camping mats. And I have all my windows blacked out. So it's all about keeping all the light out, keeping all the EMF out, and sleeping on the floor, getting off a mattress, and getting on a grounding mat. And obviously a quiet environment too. Completely silent. Oh, I also turned off all the power to my room from the fuse box, so I have no electricity running through my room. What does your family and friends think you being primal? I don't know. They just don't really care, you know? Like, they care as much about my diet as I care about their diet, which is, I don't care about their diet, you know? So, obviously they think it's weird at first, but whatever. Now that I'm getting on the news and all this stuff, now they think it's interesting, you know? Now they're like, wow. Now they're, like, basically getting famous from it. Yeah, turn off power at night for sure. Hard surface is so much better to sleep on, for sure. Ever heard of Dr. Wallach? I have not. Do you think you could drink eggs instead of drinking water? 100%. Eggs are very hydrating. Alright, y'all, I think I'm going to end this here in a couple minutes. We're at about an hour. Hour's usually about my limit, unless I'm feeling really good for the day. I can maybe go 2, but it's my last day off before I got to go back to work tomorrow, so I'm going to get some stuff done. Appreciate y'all showing up, and I'll try to do this like once a week. So if you guys are not on my email list, my notification list, I'll send you my email. Alright guys, take it easy. Email me if you want to get on my notification list.